This is the Inspection Pro Joe podcast, where we break down everything you need to know to grow a successful home inspection company. Join hosts Joey and Jake as they share insider knowledge and chat with the industry's best on how to take your business to the next level.
This program is brought to you by Pair Payments.
All right, welcome back to Inspection Pro Joe, episode 31. Today, Joey and I have with us Istvan Zsako, who is a entrepreneur, author, speaker, and consultant. And we are very happy to have you with us here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, Istvan, I'm so excited to have you here. I actually sit on a mentorship group with Istvan, and just the insight you bring to our group and the knowledge that you have and the business mind that you have is truly incredible. And we're just so happy to have you here for our listeners to learn from and to hear your story and to hear all the things that you do to grow an incredible business within our industry. So thanks for being here.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks.
So I've been told that you have quite the interesting story, and I actually haven't heard it. So I'm very interested to get into that, how you got into the industry and what your origin story is, so to speak.
Yeah. With home inspection itself, it was something that actually kind of landed in my lap. I didn't even look for it. I wasn't even sure what it was. And a buddy of mine approached me one day, and I had actually seen him talking to some other people about it. I was curious, what is he offering them? I don't want to butt in, take somebody else's opportunity, so I kind of sat back, and then one day he approaches me and he goes, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I'm getting out of home inspection, and I know you're in, construction and contracting. Are you interested in getting into home inspection? And I immediately was just like, yes. I still didn't even know what it was, but I was like, yeah, let's do it. Whatever it is, let's do it. And he told me, well, I want you to get some formal training, go get some training, start setting up your business, and I'm going to sell you what I got, which was, tools, computer, some basic systems that he had built out, like pricing sheet and scripts. Yeah. And he was going to work with me hand in hand on some home inspections, and then just kind of let me go off on my own. And I went for it, and he was surprised too the next week, because next week I saw him. I said, I already got a business. I already got a plan to go up to Colorado for a couple of days to do a training. I got this, I got that. And he's just like, okay, because he had been offering it to other people for like over the last year as he was trying to step out. And he was just like, great. Well, let me know when you're back from the training, and we're going to go out in the field and move forward with this. And I'm really glad that he did that. It was like a huge blessing and opportunity, because I was getting burnt out in contracting. It was turning into 60, 80 hour work weeks, and just getting kind of crazy.
Yeah. Did you find home inspection was a little bit more of an easier transition, or what was the learning curve in the beginning?
It was scary at first, because, I heard about the liability and the training. They always tell you, hey, it's not, if you're going to get sued, it's just when, it's going to happen, get over it kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, there was that like weight on my shoulders at first, and going out there and promoting myself. And then you have a little bit of that imposter syndrome where it's like, who am I to say that I know everything about homes and I can do inspections? And once I started getting out there, I really started enjoying it and meeting the agent and everything else. And I love that I go out and get a job, I either get paid for the job or I get paid at the time of the job, and I'm done. That was so much better than contracting, where contracting, I was always waiting for like $30,000 or $50,000 to come in, just always in the rears waiting for money. So that was a big changer going into this industry.
And how'd you deal with it? I mean, when did you realize that you didn't want to do inspections anymore and you wanted to grow a team?
That is a good question. It kept happening when the summertime would come, and my first thought was, man, I'm booked 17 days out. Like, I'm in demand. People like me. I was like, yeah, and I didn't know. I wasn't thinking like a business owner. I was thinking like an employee. I had, like job security. This is awesome. And then people started telling me, the realtors were saying, you need to hire somebody. You're just way too busy. And I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. And it took me about 2 years plus of thinking about it to finally hire somebody. And he didn't work out, unfortunately, but I hired somebody else at the same time, and he did, who's still with me.
Awesome.
And then once it was time to let him go, my head started racing with the ideas of like, oh my gosh, now I'm responsible for all of his liabilities. What if he misses something? What if he breaks something? All these things go through my head once again. I was like back to the employee mindset, like now I'm taking on risk instead of looking for reward. And but I went for it, and it was a game changer. It was a game changer.
So oh, sorry, Jay, but when did you feel like the shift was from that employee mindset to that business mindset? Because it seems like you're a lot like me, where you just like go for it and just make the mistakes and learn quickly and just adapt. When did you realize like, okay, wait, I got to start doing things a little different and think more like a business owner than that employee minded?
Yeah, when I was contractor, I did the same thing. I always tried to figure out how to grow. And I could only get so big, so many employees. With the home inspection, I thought the same thing. I'd get more employees, I could grow. It was when I hired my third and fourth inspector, and I realized, the demand's there for more inspections, but I don't know if I can keep these guys consistently busy and working. And I realized I gotta step up my game. Like I have to be more than what I am right now to get to that next level. And that's when I realized I need to find something, and I got a coach. That's when I, joined a mastermind group with Mike Crow and was realizing like I need something more because I really don't know what I'm doing. Like my marketing plan was, my smile and my blue eyes and going to, real estate meetings. That was my marketing. It's like I really didn't have a plan, and so nothing was projected, nothing was consistent, nothing was guaranteed, almost. Not that everything it can be, but at least you can get better results if you start planning things. So I realized I needed help, and I asked for help, and that's where everything started changing. And I started understanding what it was to be a home inspector and what it meant to be a business owner, and everything changed.
I think that is the most powerful inflection point as a home inspection business owner when you make that realization. Because we were talking previous to this recording, Istvan and I were talking about the training there, how they train you to be a home inspector and not a business owner. So my question that I was going to ask, you actually already answered, which is, while you're a home inspector, where do you go for that information to learn how to be a business owner? So you were able to find that in this group, the MIC group, with Mike Crow. But were there any books or people you went to or podcasts you went to for that knowledge and that insight, or was that something that you had to learn from experience and from these groups?
It's a yes to all of them. You really got to like start pouring into yourself. In every aspect of your life too. It's, sometimes people just focus on the money. Sometimes people just focus on the relationship, the travel, the health. It's a whole balance. And every day is learning more about how you can be that better person, how you can be that better spouse, how you can be that better business owner, everything that you do. And there's a lot of books. I loved the E-Myth was one of the first ones that probably really helped me understand what systems are and why I needed them, because I was doing everything just as like by the seat of my pants. I didn't realize it in my head. I had all these ideas how everything's supposed to be done. I would show people how these things are supposed to be done, but nothing ever was getting me consistent results because I didn't start building the systems. I didn't start laying it out. I didn't start, putting down the plan, writing it out so people could just see it, even if it was a checklist. That simple. Like get it out of your head. And that was one of the biggest things I started learning, about E-Myth. And then Traction was another great one that helped me understand my role as a business owner and interacting with my team and building the team, getting the people in the right seats on the bus. And some people just kicking them off the bus. They're on the wrong bus, and it's okay. Help them find where they need to be, and stop holding on to people that are just holding me back. And it was just so many different things along with experience. I'm all about experience. Like for me, school, I believe in education. I don't believe in school. So I believe in getting trainings. I believe in educating yourself, whether it's books, mentors, coaches, whatever it might be. I'm all for educating yourself, definitely. And it was taking that information and going out and trying it. like Joey was saying earlier, yeah, I'm somebody like, I'll jump out of the plane and then I'll be like, you said something about a parachute? What? Like heads first, like let's just go for it. And you learn along the way. That's one of the biggest things I learned. It's like failure. Everybody's worried about failure. I look forward to it because that's a learning opportunity. And it is a fact that if you want to build something, you want to succeed at something, you have to learn how to fail often, but fail forward and keep moving forward, getting back up and doing it again and learning from your mistakes. So the combination about all of it, but it really was great to have like a coach and a mentor, somebody to kind of guide you through some of it and help share some of the pitfalls that they went through so that you don't have to go through them as well, so that you can accelerate your growth and get where you want to be quicker, faster, with even less accidents and failures, shall we say. I don't like the word failures, but as everybody calls them. So you experience less of that and get there quicker.
And it's a learning experience, not a failure.
Yeah. I love, you said a lot of great things, Istvan, there too. And basically you have no ego. You're not afraid to ask for help. You have a personal growth strategy because you realize like, wow, I'm building a team. I need to be able to grow in order to help them grow in their roles. And if they're not want to be part of that, then bye-bye. I'll let them go. I want to have people that are collaborating and building on this team. And I think so many of us, when we hire people, we almost want them to work out more than they care about working out for us. And, being able to let people go, being able to realize your mistakes and move quickly through them is powerful. I think a lot of us, we make a mistake and we hold on to it. We don't let it go. And it keeps us from moving forward. So what you just said right there is so powerful. If you're listening to this, go back and re-listen to what Istvan just said, because he dropped so many gold nuggets, because it's not just one thing, it's a collaboration of things that's really going to move the needle forward for you and your business. I love that. I just had to touch on that. That was amazing.
So we actually are going to take a minute to hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
The home inspection industry is highly competitive, and you need an edge to stay on top. You certainly can't afford to give profit away for no reason. But what if I told you credit card processors may be overcharging you and robbing you of profits you've worked hard to earn? It's time to put an end to being overcharged for payment processing. It's time to take back your profits. That's why we've put together a free report, How to Avoid Being Overcharged by Your Payment Processor. Head over to takebackyourprofits.com, download the report, and put an end to being overcharged for credit card processing. You've worked hard for your sales, and you deserve to keep it. What are you waiting for? Go to takebackyourprofits.com and download your report today.
All right, welcome back. So Istvan, what Joey was just touching on happens to come up in your book, The Victory Mindset, right?
Yeah, what Joey was talking about, the failures. Like a lot of people are afraid to fail, and they often get discouraged by it, or they've had failures in their life and they hold on to them and let them keep them from where they need to go or where they want to go. And for myself, I was a homeless teen at a young age. And, there's a lot of things that went through my head and a lot of things about like my self-worth and who I am and the value that I have to bring. There was teachers that saw me as a rebellious kid, spoke negative words over me. I was never going to accomplish anything, put me down. I mean, just all these things, along with the rough life that I had growing up. And when I finally got through all of that and I started making money and I started thinking I was having that better life, growing up poor, money was going to fix everything. I realized I wasn't happy. I realized my relationships would fall apart. I realized some of my businesses didn't really go where I wanted them to. And through a lot of self-discovery, I realized that I was really pissed off at my family for everything. And not only was I pissed off, but I also blamed them for everything. I always, when everything would fall apart, my relationship, it's because this is the way my family was, relationships suck. When my business would fall apart, it's because I'm poor and I'm always going to be poor. Like I was agreeing with these ideas of who I was based on where I had been. We're going to have failures, right? We're going to have failures. That's what we're going to learn. We're going to fall. Like if we never got up on our own 2 feet because we were too afraid to fall on our face, we'd still be crawling around. Where would we be today? That wouldn't be good. We have to get in a position where we're going to fail. We have to be vulnerable so that we can move forward, so that we can learn. And in my book, which is right now about to be published, it's the victory mindset. I talk all about that. And it's that learning how to have that victory, to be able to identify those lies, those ideas that you have about yourself, that false identity, and learning to move past it so that you can stop holding your past in the present. Stop getting what you always got in the past, like as if you always deserved it, and understand that those are things that happen to you. Those are places that you were. They build character. They're part of who you are, but they don't define your future. And that was the most powerful thing that I had to get out of it, was they don't define my future. It's like what Joey was talking about earlier, when people, fail and they hold on to it, they're holding on to that, expecting that outcome to happen again, or fear of that outcome. So they hold themselves back, where no longer do I think about my past. I've been a homeless teen. I've slept on the street. I've dived into a dumpster to have a meal. And today, that has nothing to do with where I'm going. It has nothing to do with my future, who I really am. And I embrace the failure. Yeah. I totally embrace it, man. It's changed. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's probably a testament to what you've been able to accomplish, because you own multiple businesses, not just an inspection business. You're an author. You wrote incredible books. You help people. That's one thing I can honestly say about you, Istvan, is your willingness to be able to help others that within our industry, even outside of our industry. And it's just a testament to who you are. So we really appreciate you being here, man, and sharing the victory mindset. If you guys are holding on to things, if you have any setbacks in your life, get a hold of that book, The Victory Mindset. It'll definitely, I need to get a hold of it, and it'll definitely make a big impact in your life. So that's great. I love that.
Yeah. And it's had a huge change, I believe, that I feel like on the way I do business too, because, I've had nothing. So what can be worse? It's like you hit rock bottom. We've all hit rock bottom at some point, and there's only up from there, which is really amazing. So when it comes time to, do I buy that extra, piece of equipment? Do I start offering that new service? Do I hire that extra person? It's like, what's worse can happen? You have a setback, sure, whatever, you figure it out, what happened, what went wrong, how to do it better. You get back up and you do it. And, it's not that like I don't have any fear. I'm fearless. It's just in spite of the fear, I still keep going for my goals.
Do you write your goals out every day, or do you keep them in clear sight?
I have a whiteboard sitting up on the wall full of stuff like ideas, things that I want to do, accomplishments. Put it out there. You have to write it down. So many other people, I know what I want. Well, what is it? Well, they kind of vague about it, or they never write it down or anything. It's like, it's all up here, and they're comfortable with that. And like, yeah, but you know what? Start getting it out there. Start putting it up on the wall. Put a picture. You want a fancy car? Whatever you want. I don't care. You just want to travel to Australia one day. Take a photo, put it on the wall, write it on your vision board, put it as one of your goals so that you can be reminded and keep focusing towards moving towards it. Because a lot of people say, I want this, I want this, I want that, but they have no direction, no plan, nothing laid out. They're not moving towards their goals. They're just dreams at that point. And if you want to turn a dream into a goal, first thing is write it down.
Write it down.
Step one.
Yeah.
What do you hope to achieve in the next year within our industry? How are you going to go about achieving it? For our listeners that are looking to grow, what are some of the big companies? You're a big company. What are you doing that's pushing you forward?
Nice. A lot of things. One of the biggest things that was game changer for me, and even by like small businesses, they did a poll, and it was kind of across the board, and it was learning how to marketing. Yeah. Most people think, oh, you don't want to do marketing. Oh, why spend your money? Just do a good job. You don't want to be in the realtor's pockets. You blah, blah. I hear so many things that is just like bad advice, bad advice, bad advice. And
Mhm.
marketing is the one thing that is the biggest game changer when it comes to businesses, when they learn how to market. So a lot of my focuses are on marketing, even though I feel like our business has been growing so fast. It's been like a rapid growth year after year. It's just amazing. Feel like we're always just trying to keep up with it, but we
Yeah,
still focus on the marketing. We're never too
you
busy to
have
do
to.
thing. And that's the biggest thing is what can I do next? You know, and a lot of
Yeah.
things changed after, you know, the pandemic and everything else that hit. And, you know, during those times, there was a lot of change in how everybody had to do things. And it was learning how to pivot that and keep moving
Yep.
forward. So I'm always looking for that next thing, that next, you know, the way the market's changing, the way people are interacting and trying to observe that and understand it so that I can keep implementing that in our business.
And what's your main marketing tool right now that you're utilizing or using?
A lot of our marketing actually has gone digital between, you know, we got some pay-per-click, we got some Facebook, you know, pixel track, we got some other things going on, but I developed another system called Tom Campaigns, which is top of mind campaigns. And it's a way to reach out to your realtors, especially dormant realtors in your database and new ones as you meet them to build relationships with them. And it's not about marketing. It's not about, hey, I'm the best. I do this. I'm InterNACHI certified. I'm certified master. It's about, hey, how can I help you? And it's
Yeah.
all relationship building because at the end of the day, marketing for me, whichever, whether it's digital, whether it's in person, it's all about building relationships because with the
And
relationships, I don't just get one job, I get multiple jobs because people want to work with people they trust and like. So I work on building trust, and Tom Campaigns is all about that. And it's a pretty amazing program.
that's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. For those of you out there that may be struggling with digital marketing, you don't know where to turn. Tom's campaign is an email campaign that helps build those relationships. So we'll leave a link for that for those interested in another way to help grow their business. Because I think that's extremely valuable because like you said, Istvan, you need to be able to pivot. And if you haven't done digital marketing, you need to be doing it. It needs to be a part of what you're doing because that's where the world already is. COVID
Yeah.
accelerated. You have to have a digital platform. And you said pay per click and Facebook. You should be doing it all at a different percent, because you need to be seen. You need to be noticed. And what better way from some of these free platforms that we can get on and be noticed. So Tom's campaign, we're going to leave a link for that. For those that may not have an email campaign or not have a digital footprint, you need to start doing that if you want to grow a big business. So we will definitely leave that out for those that need that in their businesses.
Multiple industries, because I do coach with, business owners of multiple industries. And the reality is we all have one thing in common. The real basic thing is, we all need lead generation. And too
Yep.
many times I've seen people get busy. They're like, oh, I used to do that marketing, or I used to do those presentations, or I used to do sponsorships, but then I got busy. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'm not busy anymore. And they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs. I'm like, you got to market. You just got to keep marketing. It's all lead gen, whether you're a realtor, you're a mortgage lender, whatever. It's about getting leads coming to you, and like you just mentioned, Joey, you like talked about, there's all these different things, you gotta,
Yeah.
it's not just one source, like one marketing tool is going to be the deal breaker here. It's like you got to have leads coming from different sources, and some don't work out. That's fine. The ROI isn't
Yep.
good. Can it? Put the money towards somewhere else, but find what works for you in your market.
Yeah. You know what the secret is? We talked about this on a previous episode. The secret is in doing it. There's no magic formula. The secret is doing implementation. That's the secret, guys.
Yeah, and that's a perfect word, implementation. How many times do people talk about their great ideas, but they're not doing it? They're
They're
just
not
talking
doing
about this great idea.
Yeah.
Like, well, go for it, launch it. Well, it's not perfect yet, or it's not
Yeah.
together, or some reason they're not launching it. I'm like, come on. It reminds me of like a little Zenrin I came up with, like, the 7 years living in the woods part of my years. And I observed people when I would talk to them. And I realized people love to talk about what they're going to do instead of doing what they love talking about. It's like,
Exactly.
do it.
Just do it.
Implementation, man. Right now
That's
is the only
powerful.
time. It's just the present.
Yeah.
Well, you bring up a good point too. You're never gonna have it perfect. The perfectionist is not the most successful person typically because they feel like they have to get everything right. It's the doers that are going to be the more successful than the perfectionists because we learn on the fly. Like you're growing several businesses and you're learning as you go. You're just doing, not holding on to things and just moving forward. Boom, boom, boom. And that's what you need to be doing to be successful. Take action. Imperfection implementation will be perfection all the time.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, I could launch like 3 things halfway put together while somebody else is still perfecting one, and I'm already making money. I'm already perfecting it. I'm already finding out the errors, the flaws, coming back with feedback, maybe a complaint or two makes it better. And all of a sudden I'm making money and the other person's still like, I'm still almost about to launch. And then they launch it and realize nobody even wants it. Oh no.
Yeah, right.
Just go for it, man. Like whatever it is that you guys might be working on, whether it's a business plan, business strategy, marketing plan, new services, go for it. Just do it.
I love it, man. Well, this has been an incredible episode. We really appreciate you coming on, Istvan. Tom's Campaign, the Victory Mindset book that you're releasing. When you get a link, we'll definitely send it out to our listeners for those that, are not growing and need to start growing or have a personal growth plan. Add that to your list because it's going to be great and it's going to help move your business forward. And then the Tom's Campaign, the digital campaign. If you do not have a digital footprint, if you don't have emails that are building relationships with agents, with clients, this is a way that where you can start doing that now. Don't wait. It's never going to be perfect. Do it now and get out there. So we really appreciate you being here, Istvan, and thank you so much for your time today.
It's a pleasure. Good talk with you guys. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was very informative, very, very insightful. I loved your stories. Very interesting. And I think that all of our listeners will love it as well. So thank you, Istvan. Thank you to the listeners, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Inspection Pro Joe podcast. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss our next episode. This episode was produced by Jake Aronson. This has been a Pair Payments production.